Close calls. If you guys ever had one before, that is exactly what happened today to the trio of Clix, Iamzo, and the newest XSET member of Higgs. They were just barely able to qualify to FNCS Grand Finals today, and let me just say, Clix was not happy about it. We also need to talk about what is going on between VENO and MrSavage. Are they going to be contesting each other now? Who was able to qualify for Grands? Who failed? So much to go over in today's video. We're going to video starts though. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Follow me on my Twitch, linked in the description down below, because we have been streaming all of these events on there if you guys want to watch them with me. We also got a MrSavage raid today, so huge shout outs to MrSavage. Leave a W MrSavage in the comment section down below. Without further ado though, let's start off with NA and every trio that was able to qualify. Alright, so yes, this is FNCS Group 2. If you're confused on how this format works, it is 5 total games, and if you win one of the games, you're instantly in Grand Finals, or if you're one of the 5 most consistent teams, you will also be straight into Grand Finals. So the team that was able to win Game 3 today in first place is the underrated trio of Dolger, Natmaz, and Aiden. They were able to get a 12 elimination win, and you are going to see a theme in this video that a lot of the game winners on NA were a lot more of the underrated trios, and one of the best, most wholesome parts of this whole thing is the win reactions we get from each of these trios as well.
Let's go! Go! Crazy! Crazy! What? So good! What? So good!
Second place was Sandman, Evan, and Zianda. They were able to win the very final game today, getting a 15 elimination win. This trio had 21 total elims and an average placement of 13.0. At the end of the day though, that is the beauty, and also you could see it as a negative part about this format, is there is going to be a lot more of the underrated trios in Grand Finals, but I am very intrigued and very excited to see if any of these teams can be a surprising top 10 trio. The winner of Game 2 was the trio of Enough, Mafia, and Haze. Now this is another just like fully underrated trio. They were able to get a 12 elimination win in Game 2 though.
Kill him, Haze.
Stay right here and spray. Stay right here and spray. I ordered that. Nice. Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby!
Fourth place, I think a lot of us would agree on, the best team that was able to get a win in Group 2 was the trio of Muzz, Yapko, and Rise. Now these guys started off this tournament with an absolute bang, getting a 13 elimination win, only had to queue up for 1 game, and then they were added there just like that, booked their ticket straight into Grand Finals. This is a trio that I think 100% has the capabilities to qualify for LAN this season. Muzz has looked like one of the best solo players in the world, Yapko is one of the most highly talked about players on all of NA, and then Rise is also just a super good IGL as well. This is 100% a trio to look out for in the top 5 of this season's Grand Finals.
Nice.
Baby.
Good.
In and out, baby. In and out.
So boring.
And then in 5th place, the team that won Game 4, they honestly had a super struggle tournament until the last game that they were able to win. Getting an 8 elimination win was the trio of 20, Liam, and Broken. Now in 20's win reaction tweet that I'll show you guys in a little bit, he said 1 game is all we needed, qualified for Grands. Thank you for coaching, from Raz, Acorn, and Agers. So 20 got the absolute GOAT squad of coaches to be able to help him get into Grand Finals. And obviously those guys are some of the best at their craft, and that is how they are now officially Grand Finals qualifiers. All right, now I'm not gonna lie, the rest of the consistency leaderboard is where I have a lot more to say about these trios, since I just know a lot more about them in general. And the first place team, the most consistent team of Group 2, the trio in 6th place is none other than Bucky, Okus, and Cam. Now these guys played absolutely out of their minds today, finishing with 261 points. One of the most impressive things about this trio to me today was they finished with the most amount of elims in this entire tournament, getting 35 total elims. Now I still do have a lot of of doubts about this trio going into grand finals, simply because of the fact that it is a double controller trio. But I really like the way that this team played in endgame. They were playing so aggressively on things like looking for refreshes, and they weren't like necessarily playing scared either. And if Ocus is going to be able to get that drum gun every single game, then they can 100% top 10 this season's grand finals. I see no reason why they wouldn't be able to. The only thing that I'm worried that they could potentially struggle with is Storm Surge or getting keyed by Acorn, Adriz, and Poyo, because we know that that team had the drum gun at the beginning of the season. They did like the drum gun, and if they want that drum gun back, they are going to make it known to Bucky. But the thing about Bucky is he is not one of those players that's just gonna fall over and let Poyo have the drum gun. They are going to have to fight for it if they want it, and that is going to be one of the most hyped things going into grand finals on, are they going to fight, or is Bucky going to get uncon drum gun for 12 out of 12 games? This trio's match history from today was a 4 elimination 22nd, 4 elimination 9th, 8 elimination 3rd, 14 elimination 2nd, and then a 5 elimination 9th. Hey, Bucky changed his name to 2023 Bucky, and it looks like he might really be back. 7th place was Rapid, Booga, and Threats. Now, these guys had a pretty consistent day as well, finishing with 255 points and getting 19 total elims. I am still a little bit worried about this team's real fragging potential in a grand finals type of lobby. They showed that they can be consistent. They did sell one of their games today that they had a pretty easy win for, but they were mainly just going for height every single game. But the question with a lot of the teams that go for height in lobbies like these is, are you going to be able to get height in a lobby that has Peterbot in it, and a lobby that has Poyo in it? And them not being able to get a single win while being on high ground today was a little concerning, because it's obviously nowhere near the caliber of players that are going to be in grand finals. I do still think that this team has the potential to qualify for land though, and Booga is in yet another grand finals. 8th place on 218 points is another underrated trio of Fuziak, Thetic, and Manic. They played so consistent today, getting an average placement of 8.4 and 18 total elims as well. 9th was Vortec, Nerface, and Bacon. And then rounding out the top 10 is the trio that I really want to talk about of Clix, Higgs, and Iamzo. Now, they finished with 203 points, and if you look at 11th place, the team that was not able to qualify finished with 198. So Clix was only able to qualify for grands by 5 total points. They got 27 total elims in this tournament. If you look at their match history, it was a 5 elimination 7th, 6 elimination 4th, 7 elimination 12th, 5 elimination 9th, and a 4 elimination 21st. In the very final game though, they did get surprise conned by a team and almost dead last, so I will give him an excuse for that game. But one of the games, literally the whole trio just died to fall damage. I'll try to find a clip of it. And then the other games that they had today, they really just weren't able to make it into full end game as a trio. And at the very end of the tournament, Clix did not hesitate to show his frustrations towards this as well.
The most embarrassing thing I ever witnessed in my life. Like, actually disgusting, but nonetheless, a wake-up call. Strats need to be changed. Every single thing needs to be changed. It doesn't even matter if we got grief last game. We didn't have good enough drops. Random teams out dropping us for our own POI. Full of embarrassment. I'm ending stream. I'm pissed. Yeah, we qualify. Like, it's just stupid. Top 3 team in the region, qualifying by 5 points. Like, here. I don't know when I'll be live. I love you.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I completely agree with everything that Clix said. This was by far the best trio in this entire lobby. They're a top 3 team on NA, and people have expectations of them to potentially win grand finals this season. I said this when I was talking about Peterbot's trio when they were not able to win a game. I don't think winning a game is necessarily what matters, but even when Peterbot was not winning, he was still far and away the most consistent team and was dropping like high kill games basically every single game as well. Clix's trio honestly just looks like middle of the pack in a lobby that is nowhere near the caliber of a grand finals lobby. But I like the accountability from Clix, showing that he knows that they do have things that they need to work on still. There is still areas for improvement, and if they want to be a team in those FNCS winning conversations, this performance is just not going to cut it. We do have a lot of big name trios that were not able to qualify though, like 12th place of Noxy, Mason, and Virgo. Noxy has already tweeted out that he's looking for a completely brand new trio for last chance qualifiers as well, so super rough day from them. 13th place of Blake Stenetto and Sales, 14th of Carillion, Byla in 16th, and then TK, Freeze, and Quanti in 18th place. So there is already going to be a lot of different big names in the last chance qualifiers. Moving on to the final kin stats now. Like I say for most of these videos and heats, the kin stats don't super matter too much since everybody is playing a different amount of games, but it is still pretty fun to look at. So starting off with in 10th place, getting 3,752 damage was Murby. 9th was Gloom. 8th was Sandman. 7th was Bucky. 6th was Sales. 5th was Blake. 4th was Iamzo. 3rd was Carillion. million. Second was Ocus, and then in first place getting 7,380 damage was Threats. Looking at these stat leaders from today, we have like Ocus with the most amount of elims getting 15, Batman Booga got 34 assists, and then Muzz had a 2.87 damage ratio. I'll put how my actual predictions went up on the screen right now. Absolutely embarrassing day for my predictions. Let's just move on to how EU went now though. Now in EU, the group that they were calling the Group of Death, by far the hardest heat in FNCS history. We got to see a lot of big names qualify, a couple of big name trios not qualify, and how that is actually going to affect MrSavage. But let's start off with the team in first place, the trio that played all 5 of their games today and ended up winning the very final game with a 6 elimination win, is a super underrated trio of Rickbor, Zara, and Zangi. Now these guys got 18 total elims and had an average placement of 10.4. I don't think this trio would have been able to qualify if they didn't clutch up and win their very final game, so huge shout out to these guys. Second place is another underrated team, and a team that we also have a win reaction for, of Glabushke, Prox, and Grippe. They were able to win game 4, getting a 14 elimination win, and let me just say, they were so hyped after their win as well.
Weil wenn wir das verlieren, ich
Schlag sein runter. Warte, ja! Let's go! Go! Oh my God, crazy,
Third place is one of the trios that has been moving up my trio rankings the quickest out of basically anybody, and that is the team of Chap, Teeny, and Skavi. Now, I was basically 100% confident that this team would win a game today, and it seemed like not very many other people agree with my opinion on that, but they were able to prove me right, getting a 10 elimination win in game 2. This team has impressed me so much with their consistency recently. They have shown that they can be a team that can make it into basically every single end game and top 5 with ease at times as well. They've been absolutely popping off in the eval cups. They placed 4th place in the only divisional cup finals that they have played, and they were able to get a double-digit elim win in game 2 of the hardest group ever. What are my real projections for this team yet? I'm not 100% sure. I want to say that this team has top 5 potential, but there is just so many good trios on EU that it is going to be so hard to predict still. 4th place, a team that had a pretty rough tournament until they were able to win a game, was Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache. Now Queasy crashed in game 1 when they got a 2 elimination 11th, and then they got a 0 elimination 9th, and then a 6 elimination win in the very final game. These guys were just fully playing the format, not going for any elims at all. They were trying to get their win and get off the game as soon as possible. Am I worried about their fragging ability going into grand finals? No, I think they're either first or the second best fighting team on all of EU. These are still my FNCS favorites, and I am still as confident as ever in this trio. It looks like they do still currently also have uncontested Seaport City, so the future is really bright for these guys. And then the trio that won game 1 in 5th place, getting a 9 elimination win, was none other than Robin, Cheatin, and Trexer. Now this has been another super underrated team today, and they started off the tournament with an absolute bang. Very excited to see what the future holds for this trio as well, and we also got a win reaction for these guys.
30 Sekunden kann er nicht rasieren. Let's go, Digga! Let's fucking go, Junge! Wir haben verkackt erstes Game, Digga!
Of course, though, we do still have 5 other trios that were able to make it out of the group of death, like starting off with 1st place in consistency and 6th place on the leaderboard was Comeback, Blaha, and Mixit. Now they put on an absolute masterclass in this tournament until the very final game. I really want to highlight this trio's match history just because of how consistent they were. They got 3 straight games getting 3rd place with 6, 6, and 9 elims, and then they got a 15 elimination 2nd, and then their very final game was a 3 elimination 22nd. If this trio is able to get uncontested bridge and grand finals, this is 100% a top 10 minimum trio. I love the chemistry that these guys have been building up, and it looks like all of the hard work that they have been putting in is finally paying off. They look like one of the best teams in the hardest heat, and that is always going to majorly impress me, so huge shout out to these guys. 7th place is where some of the controversy begins. We have one of the best trios in the entire world, the FNCS champions of Vico, VENO, and Flixie. Now these guys finished with 276 points, got 43 total elims, but just unfortunately were not able to win a game today. If you look at their match history from today, their best games were like a 16 elimination 2nd and then a 14 elimination 10th. The thing about this trio is if they're able to make it into end games, they're always going to have the potential to get 10 plus elims, which is why they will always be in contention for winning an FNCS grand finals. The consistency hasn't really been there yet, and I think that they realize that as well, and so that is why we saw a tweet from VENO that said masked meadows in grands. And if you're wondering like, oh, what happened to Ferdoxy? Isn't Ferdoxy landing there? Ferdoxy was not able to qualify, which we will talk talk about more later, but this has not only huge implications on Vico, VENO, and Flixie, but also huge implications on MrSavage, Rezon, and Vidil. Now, MrSavage has been like planning to go there all season long. I think we all know that ever since that trio formed together and like MrSavage unretired and all that sort of stuff. But VENO realizes his chance now to get an uncontested Mass Meadows, which is the drop spot that they were originally landing at when MrSavage was quite literally still retired. And then they ended up just getting ran off spawn by Frodoxy. They tried to go contest Malibuca, didn't work for them either, so they ended up going their mountain split. And now that Mass Meadows is available, they want to be the first trio to prance on it. Now, how do I actually feel about this move? I feel like this was kind of expected eventually. VENO's trio literally has a land spot secured and they're landing at a split drop. Like that in the first place was always just so insane to me. I know they haven't been doing the best off spawn fighting wise this season so far, but these are still 3 of the best fighters on the entire region. What does this actually mean for MrSavage, Rezon, and Vidil? I mean, they're still gonna land Mass Meadows in their heat tomorrow since they are uncontested, but going into grand finals, I really don't know what they're going to do yet. I guess there is a possibility that MrSavage could just take VENO's old drop spot at the mountain split, or if they want to, they could just full contest VENO, Vico, and Flixie there as well. We got to see VENO and MrSavage talk as soon as the tournament ended, and VENO was also getting a little bit toxic as well, so I want to show that clip for you guys.
All right, I'll catch you, like, I'll see you in grounds. Hopefully you qualify.
Bro, you're like you are hard.
I'm asking.
What is he for? Bro, this 5'5" Fortnite pro is trying to be hard, bro. I'm not calm. You should get back on my lap like a good boy, VENO. Come on, G.
Now, I can't fully tell if like VENO and MrSavage are just trolling in that clip or if they're being like completely serious. You guys can let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. But hey, drama is what we're here for sometimes, and especially going into grand finals, this is going to be such an interesting storyline to keep track of. Moving on with the rest of the teams that were able to qualify, we have like 8th place of Seti, Hari, and Cammy on 228, 9th place of Sandgil, TD, and Jewel on 223, and then rounding out the top 10, the last team to be able to qualify, the other land qualified trio of Ping, Wox, and Malibuca. So we were very close to almost potentially seeing an uncontested lone wolf lair in grand finals as well, which I don't even want to imagine how much drama that could have potentially led to. But Malibuca and them were able to clutch up the qual, and they did it pretty handedly too, by over 30 points. So yes, that does mean that we do have a couple of big name trios that were not able to qualify, like 11th place of CZB, Eclipse, and Nathan. They were one of my teams that I did predict to be able to qualify, so super unfortunate for me and for them as well. And then 13th place, the one that all you MrSavage fans care about, is Chino, Pablo, and Frodoxy. They only got 143 points in 5 total matches today, only finished with 7 total elims as well. I'm not gonna lie, this is really not what I expected out of this trio today. They finished in 3rd place in the last Div Cup of the season. They've looked really good in eval cups, really good in scrims. I thought this team was almost a lock to be able to qualify today, and so them still being like 60 points out of qual is definitely a pretty disappointing day for them. It looks like Frodoxy is being kind of a W-mans to MrSavage though. We saw him respond to MrSavage's tweet saying, need 3 for off spawn prac, and Frodoxy said, stick to it for grands and I'll help you 10 hours a day. I mean, this trio does still have the last chance qualifiers though at the end of the day, so if they're able to win a game there, then I don't even know where this off spawn drama goes. Some other big names we had is like Turtle in 14th, Ava Hollow in 16th, Rax Bradage and Radeon in 22nd, and those were most of the big names that were not able to qualify this week. If you guys are wondering what the final kin stats look like now, in 10th place with 4,124 damage is Abdul, 9th is Pablo, 8th is Hari, 7th is Vico, 6th is VENO. Going into the top 5 is Frodoxy in 5th, Malibuca in 4th, Swizzy in 3rd, Jewel in 2nd, and then in 1st place with 4,903 damage is Cammy. If we're wondering what the stat leaders look like, the most elims was 20 of VENO, 31 assists for Cammy, and a 2.41 damage ratio for Teeny. If you guys are wondering how my EU predictions went, I was able to go 80%, get 8 out of the 10 right, and the ones that I was not able to get right was unfortunately Pablo, Frodoxy, and Chino, and Nathan, CZB, and Eclipse. And these guys literally placed 11th and 13th, so I was so close to going 10 out of 10. Honestly, not the worst predictions I've ever had, not the best. Let me know what you guys went in the comment section down below, of course, though. Other than that, though, hey, Group 2 is officially over, man. Let me know what you guys think about everything we went over in today's video. What were the biggest surprises to you guys? How do you guys think Clix is going to do in grand finals now? Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. YouTube says I'm enjoying one of these videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitch, linked in the description down below. If you guys want to watch any of these tournaments with me, Thank God for another day. Enjoy your guys' Easter tomorrow, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.